Hey guys, and welcome back to Pokemon Omega Ruby. After the crazy, insane events of the last part, I think we need to take it down a notch for this installment of Pokemon. It's still going to be mysterious, there's still going to be happenings, but we're heading out onto the open sea now to see Mauville. And many of you may remember this as, you know, the ship that's basically like semi-capsized, but here it's like more of a kind of like, I want to say a facility that's just been abandoned and is partially sunken into the sea. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I got jealous of what Cinnabar Island was doing with their facility, and see Mauville went, oh well, I bet I could beat you at that game, everybody get the fuck out.
Watson was so busy, like, wondering if he could, he didn't stop to consider if he should.
Oh wow. Nobody bothered to remove that? Okay, well I guess a partially capsized ship is a bit hard to move, I admit.
But facility in this particular installment, thank you very much.
Well, it's a facility, but it clearly still looks like a ship that's leaning over, so...
It looks cool. That's all that really matters. What's your memories of this place from, you know, your original run through Sapphire?
Oh man. Was this a post-game thing in the original Ruby and Sapphire too?
I think you at least need a dive in order to access all the parts of the facility / ship.
I really do not remember, in all honesty. I don't know if I've ever been here. I don't know if I ever went inside and found anything in here. I really don't remember.
Thanks. So glad you're the co-commentator with me on this one.
Hey, I bring the skills that pay the bills, I guess.
As opposed to woman groves.
Oh, mangroves, you just took that from Castlevania, didn't you? Admit it. You just ported them over, and you needed a place to give them a good home. I'm good, thanks. I'll do it myself.
What's there to do on this reg? Any arcades? Maybe a cafe or two? I have no idea what this donation goes towards, by the way, so I just gave out 100 credits for no reason.
I believe the donation goes towards getting more gullible people to pay for restoring this place, Tom. It's sunk. That's the current result of my investigation. I'll need some money to continue.
Well, he's a scientist, not, you know, an explorer, so I'll give him a bit of slack here.
By the way, you know, having a place where people can walk on with holes everywhere, super dangerous as fuck. I hope the funding goes towards repairing that, at least.
Yeah. You know, there's kids running about here. Now, there's plenty of lore that goes with this place, and over the course of this part, since I can't really explain it myself because my memory is basically like a sieve, and I can't retain any of the information I read online, hopefully you're paying attention to what's on screen.
So they have like 10 principles to abide by on this facility, because that worked out really well.
Like, it just gets worse and worse as it goes on.
You know, worship the worm, Shalahud.
Like, Jesus Christ, you know the phrase, don't live to work, work to live? They basically reverse that here.
Well, they do have that problem in Japan, karoshi, death by overwork, so...
Well, like I said, with, you know, the whole anime stylings and anime-esque music, they're basically working in a bit of Japanese ethics here, I guess.
Man, you know, Japanese kids would have it awesome. You know, they grow up and then they can kill themselves being a salaryman. Sounds fantastic. What a good way to live.
Yeah, no wonder the population rates are just, like, plummeting.
Just drown myself after that whole Mr. Bonding shit. I'm done. Fuck it.
Just get as deep as you can and take off the scuba gear. I'm done.
Now, at least this part wasn't timed, because that's the last thing I need when I'm underwater.
Uh-huh. Funny you should say that. There's a time section in Pokemon Black and White 2 where you explore this castle. I always thought it was related to, like, the Regis and whatnot, but no, I was never able to find them.
Oh, well, good.
Spooky!
Better not see one of those, you know... What the hell was the name of Hex Maniacs, yeah. Oh, no, they're talking about 5-hour energies.
Yeah, just inject yourself with Seviper venom. That won't have any lasting side effects.
Dude, that's like the first step to becoming, like, a genetic experiment. That's like how the lizard made himself in fucking Spider-Man. Damn close.
Did you see what the words were? Cosmo, as in Professor Cosmo, and the Orberg mine from Sinnoh.
Yeah, save the game, because I think we're about to get jumped by the thing from Outlast.
Interesting thing to note here. You actually have to go into a thing that basically covers up the whole screen, like the Pokédex or a menu. And that's the only way to get this odd little Pokemon to appear.
That's fucked up. And can you not do that anymore? Okay, I am done. I'm just gonna get up.
Get back here, we're not done with the playthrough yet.
5 Nights at Mauville's. No, I need something that rhymes with Freddy's.
I'm not sure if this is like a post-game Pokemon. I think it might appear after you're done with, like, you know, taking Steven down a peg or two. Personally, I just leave all this stuff until after you're done with the story. That way you got plenty to do.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, I'm not exactly in a rush to get a Spiritomb. Like, it's not like the Pokemon I think, oh, I gotta get one of those. A rock that's bleeding spirit energy. Let me get in on that.
Ooh, look at me, I'm a spooky fart trapped in a boulder. How intimidating.
That's what I'm gonna call him from now on. A spooky fart.
Look, the poo gas is swirling. Cynthia, why do you use this guy on your team, honestly?
Spooky fart. I wish you named him that. A jump scare. Okay, fair enough. That's appropriate. But spooky fart. That's just... that is going on the top of my things to call Pokemon list next to song names, of course.
Okay, let's delve deeper into the Sea Mauville conspiracy.
Do you think they have ghosts underwater now that I think about it?
Well, yeah, there's the water ghost Pokemon from Gen 5, Jellicent.
That's a ghost?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it drags people to their doom.
Oh my god, that's great. You know, I'm just so glad we're learning so much today.
Practically every ghost Pokemon is a fucked up Pokédex entry, and I love Pokemon for that.
Alright, do you really need to bring your inner tube in here? It doesn't really seem appropriate for the place. You're really bringing down the mood.
How do you get around? Do you dive? Do you, like, climb over the boxes that we're unable to get through? How does it work?
I fly, unlike you, tool.
Hey, I saw, okay.
Okay, now we're just picking up, like, Wolf Crest from fucking Resident Evil. Get the key, you gotta go in here, get the other key, get the fucking toothpick.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of things.
Although, if they did, like, a Pokemon-style Resident Evil, that would be interesting, you know, with, like, this kind of setting.
I think this is a reference back to the original Gen 3 games, but don't quote me on that, it's been a while.
I thought it was another kind of magazine, okay.
Diantha exposed. She completely ripped off Audrey Hepburn. The scandal, the shame.
Hey, Cynthia gets more porn anyway.
Helldragon, Helldragon, Helldragon.
I am merely repeating what I have heard.
On the internet, no less.
I'll just send Ludicolo, he'll scare off any ghosts underwater.
Booga booga!
Oh my god, his dancing is terrible, we must flee.
Ah, it's a giant pineapple! It's so offensive.
I really want you to go down into one of these and just find, like, skeletons of Pokemon down here. That would just be fucked up.
A little bit too much, I think.
I don't know. It's clear that Pokemon is not willing to not pull some punches, so... Oh man, I remember Deep Fear on the Sega Saturn. I love that game.
I don't think you can use the item finder down here, or the dowsing machine, or whatever it's called. So just, like, head around this area, keep tapping A, you're good to go. By the by, in Alpha Sapphire, one of Hooper's rings can be found down here. Just something to note for a later date.
So how are you supposed to know that the scanner is down there to begin with? Did somebody give you a hint?
Well, the guy, the scientist outside, did say he hasn't checked the deepest parts of the facility. So, obviously, dive... and you should be able to find it easily enough.
Yeah, just run around hammering the button, hope you stumble onto something.
Welcome to the olden days of game design.
Well, there's a save room in here, thankfully, so we'll be able to get our shotgun, we'll be good. We just did that. We don't need to dive anymore. We're done diving, I think. Cool, there's some ammo powders in here. We can just combine them, get some magnum rounds.
Oh, and some ribbons as well. Score!
Like, I always loved those kind of, constrained one-level games. Like Resident Evil, Metroid, things like that. I've always just been a big fan of those. I love, being able to explore more and more of the facility as it opens up.
Now, as you could probably tell by Mr. Bonding and the like, Pokemon has been kind of pushing the boundaries of
what's acceptable.
Well, no. That's kind of rude considering what I was about to say. But it's breaking down like societal, I guess, constraints of the older games. Like this is basically a lesbian couple. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Came out of nowhere.
It's not commented on. It's just two girls in a locked room.
Ah, all right. Well, I am not one to judge. I mean, God forbid I have to live in this. I'm me. I can't judge.
Good save. All right, ladies, we'll leave you be.
Well, for Resident Evil, though, this is really disappointing. That one of those girls should have been a zombie. That would have been great.
Yeah, just oh my god, her head's a chainsaw.
Well, then again, you think about that, and then there's been all those, romance novels. There has been a novel where somebody fell in love with a zombie who, of course, wasn't actually really kind of like a zombie, so that's cheating, technically.
I'm pretty sure there's a movie like that. It's like, oh, he's a zombie, but he's safe, so I love him.
I think they're making a movie about that, yeah. Well, of course they're making a movie about that, because people like crap, so...
There's a lot of diving in this part. I do apologise.
Just don't get waterlogged. At least we're getting a lot of good leg exercise. We gotta go up and down slopes all the time. I learned from a English teacher who lives in Japan, who does this really cute little series called Let's Speak English, that apparently because they have those squatting toilets in Japan, Japanese actually have really strong leg muscles. That's what she said, not me. Alright? This is her experience. So I chose Rapture.
A man with no power. Seems like we met a man with no power in the previous part.
Yeah, and my mind was blown away, so let's not talk about him anymore.
Mr. Bonding ties into the origins of C. Mauville. How fucked is that?
That's, this guy has been living for like thousands of centuries being really questionable, hasn't he?
Well, you have Professor Cosmo, who I think resides in Fall Arbitan with his wife, quotation marks, and he worked on the project, and everyone was fired. And you also had Watson, who was like really depressed, and I think he tried to revive New Mauville, but that didn't go anywhere. So he basically fortified Mauville C, which is something that didn't happen in the alternate universe. And I've probably got every bit of that wrong, but we have the comment section to call us out on our bullshit, and that's what a Pokemon playthrough is for. Oh.
Well, if you deal with alternate universes, even if you make a mistake, there's probably an alternate universe where that is true. So technically, you can never be wrong now.
Yeah, true. What a ripped Jeep.
Yeah, I can just imagine a guy just, looking back and forth, and then he pulls a car magazine out of his butt. Look at the transmission on that!
Oh, fucking Bugatti's getting my motor revving, you know what I'm talking about.
You should probably stop.
I probably should.
The DS, it's ancient.
No, it's just a regular 3DS. What do you think I am, some kind of fucking pauper?
Yeah, I update mine when they put new sticks on it. We have a new Winnie. The best Winnie of them all.
Work endlessly.
Never stop. Praise be to C. Mauville.
We can get into the heart of C. Mauville and get all the swag and booty that our heart desires.
Well, good. Maybe we'll find, like, the flamethrower there, because that's one of my favorite weapons in this game.
Or maybe that cool laser thing from Resident Evil 4. That was amazing.
That was the linear launcher, wasn't it? That's Code Veronica. No, you're talking about 4. There was Code Veronica that came before 4, but we thought it was 4 until they actually made a 4. You're following this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of. If I could discern, like, the backstory of Pokemon, shallow as it is, I think I could follow your inane ramblings. I've had 7 years worth of experience at this point.
I gotta say, I am really liking, this version of C. Mauville. I am loving the exploration aspect, and we need more of that. I've been getting in here so I can rob the place. Thanks, kid. Those are boxes.
Look at all this booty! There's so many Pokeballs around here. There could be protein, iron, calcium in here.
Well, you keep saying they're nuggets.
Yeah, there's nuggets and big nuggets.
Yeah, that's cute. This is mine. Look, can you take this guy back to Cromartie High where he belongs? I'm sorry.
Jackass! He's mocking me!
I fucking love that show, and I don't watch it nearly enough. Just vanishes into his coat, I guess.
So from what I can gather, he worked on, like, see Mauville, and he lost his beloved Skitty doll while, I guess they were flaying the place when everything went tits up, so it's nice that the two have been reunited again. That being said, I'm gonna pilfer the fuck out of this place. Oh, I'm gonna pilfer it so bad that it's gonna require a crossfade.
We're gonna need a forklift to carry all these. Just like 10 beautiful minutes of us mugging the whole place.
That's what it originally was, and then I thought better of it.
We gotta have some Ice Beam, of course. We could sell this.
Well, no, you can't sell TMs anymore. That was my go-to strategy in the original games, to get a little bit of Wonga when I was bereft of cash.
Someday I'm gonna find the guy who came up with Wonga and ask him some very tough questions.
Oh, I forgot I didn't do a crossfade, I did a linear wipe.
Well, that's different. You should really diversify your techniques, I suppose. Yeah, we were all surprised when Beedrill, of all Pokemon, got a Mega Evo. I mean, it looks neat, but still.
He basically turned into a mecha.
Yeah, he goes full Robotnik mech, you know? Like, you can imagine if you bust him open, like a squirrel pops out, I'm free!
Yes! What a weird Mega Evolution.
Well, no, now that I think about it, I bring that up, and then I remembered there was actually a character in the UK Sonic comic who was a squirrel, but he was trapped in a Badnik suit, and they called him... He was Short Fuse, I think. That was his name?
Short Fuse the Cybernik, who, whenever he popped up, basically repeated his origin story of how Robotnik trapped him in the suit.
Well, you're new. How are you doing, little girl? Do you want to know how I got in the suit?
As you all know.
Yeah, I hate... That technique is so bad, though. You're really not supposed to rely on that. Like, I like how in Marvel Comics they just do recap pages now. Like, that works out so much better.
Yeah, well, it makes it flow better, but in a movie, when you need the plot explained to an everyman, it works fine.
Well, yeah, okay. There's some things you kind of have to do for movies, I admit.
So why isn't Mr. Bonding on the news? Did he just escape the ports? Did he get onto a ship and head over to Kalos unchecked?
Yeah, fucking Magic Man emerged out of nowhere today. More news at 11.
Don't forget we got the scanner, so we've got to give it to this scientist bloke over here.
What does he need to scan for again?
Stuff, I imagine, Eldragon. I'm not a scientist.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, fair enough.
He's looking for barcodes to scan and get monsters out of. Now play Classical Gas.
Let's have a look at Hoenn at night. Something that we weren't able to see until this generation rolled around.
Oh, that looks nice. I really like that. Man, I just feel kind of cool and calm. You kind of forget you're doing a stressful video game commentary.
Stressful in massive quotation marks, mind you. This is just fun for me. Nah, if my commentary style has gotten a bit more rambly, I apologise, but I just find it best to, instead of fall upon a stutter and cancel, like, the take, just to roll with it for the most part.
Yeah, sometimes the ability to improvise is great, which is what I need to do when I am at a job interview.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotta go see Captain Stern before I go to bed. Ho! You gotta pay me first. I mean, I just got a bunch of nuggets, but I still want more.
He's gonna pay us, don't you worry.
Okay, so how much can I sell this for? Will Etsy take it? That's my question.
Nice. timely when this video goes up, Hell Dragon. This is related to a certain legendary Pokemon who we'll be seeing next week at the time this video goes up, when we start the legendary block of the Omega Ruby playthrough post-game.
And the part's about to end, so you should probably fill up all that extra time, because I ain't got nothing else to say.
Okay. Bye-bye.